we learned about an effort to help seniors this holiday season. Another thing you can do to help them is really study them, watch them, pay attention to how they're living.
Yeah, here's the deal. There are certain behaviors, there are certain signs that may signal that maybe they need help. Signs that might indicate they could be in the beginning stages of Alzheimer's, and that's where you come in to get your loved one the support that they might need. So, Kevin Booth is co-owner and director of operations at Delmar Manor Assisted Living. Linda Cornelius is a registered nurse. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So maybe it's not at the top of our to-do list when it comes to our older relatives, family, friends, things like that, but maybe it should be to pay more attention?
Sure, especially the holiday season. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year. At Delmar Manor, we get people coming in all the time, especially during this time of the year, because they're noticing their family members are starting to change. Things aren't adding up like they used to when they were growing up, or even in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. Now they're getting closer to their 50s and they're seeing their parents, and they're starting to change.
So we mentioned that it's important to study them. What are we looking for?
Well, basically, you really want to begin to watch their appearance. You want to watch, I notice a lot as the nurse who goes in and out that they may be more disheveled. They may not want to get their hair done. They may not want to speak to others. They may stay in their room. They may not want to watch the holiday programs that are happening in the building, and they just become quieter.
Yeah.
And you can tell that something's on their mind, and our caregivers try to ask them questions to see how they can help them move forward, because they know it's a very, very hard time during this time of the season.
Now, you're telling us to pay attention to their mail, too. Why?
Well, here's the thing. Our caregivers go out and we get the mail, or the family gets their mail and brings it to them. And a lot of times you just notice a stack, and the stack just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you wonder, you know, and sometimes when you're the nurse, you walk in and out of the rooms, and I look and it's like, it's important mail.
Right.
You know, it's like from the kids, it's from the families.
So that's an indication.
Yeah, and it's like they just don't want to open it, and like we encourage them to open their Christmas cards and their Thanksgiving cards and have them in their room, but there's times when they just won't do it. And you know, one-on-one sometimes, if you just sit down and give them that extra special attention, they will start to begin to change.
Another thing is to go out for a drive with them, right? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely go out with a drive. That's probably the biggest one. For a son or a daughter to take the keys from mom or dad is probably the biggest indicator for the loved one that, you know what, I'm not allowed to drive anymore. That's their freedom. When you have a teenager and they're driving and you ground them and you take their keys, that's the kiss of death to them. You know, that's the worst ground as you can ever give. So Mom, take me to the store. Let's run to the store and get some eggs. Whatever you're going to do, and just watch little things. Does she put her seatbelt on? Do you have a bunch of warning lights on the car that's letting you know that she's not maintaining it? Just little things like, is she following basic traffic laws? Is she driving 2 miles an hour? Things like that.
The car may not have any gas in it.
Yeah.
It may not have been it may not have been ready to drive.
So let's say I go over to the house. I see things are changing in the house too.
Well, what we see mostly, if I go out to do an assessment in the home, what we see mostly is the house has become just stacked, kind of like hoarding, and it's not, let's say you were an OCD cleaner,
right.
All of a sudden you're not. You just are off to yourself. You don't, the cobwebs are piling up.
Yeah.
There's no one coming in to clean, and you're wondering why the family hasn't noticed those things, but the family needs to really notice what's happening inside the home.
And while you're there, maybe take a look at how they're moving around in the home.
Balance is a particular thing. This is a time of the year when we have some rain that's slippery. We have things that they want from outside. They have things that they want inside. They come in. This is when we have fractured hips. This is when fractures occur. This is when people fall. They're in a hurry. They want to get somewhere, but they're going too quickly. It may be the time to ask your mother or father to use their cane.
Yes.
To be more safe. Wait for me, I'll grab your arm. or wait on the caregiver in the facility and just help them.
Okay, so I'm visiting with family, I'm visiting with friends, and I'm seeing that they're withdrawn. They're maybe emotionally a little more down than they usually are. Is that something to worry about? Could it just be maybe a bad day?
What we try to do is I try to assess the residents for the physical signs, the changes in their appetite, the changes in how they answer to the staff. Are they more withdrawn in their room? The signs and symptoms of depression, listlessness, not really wanting to do anything, no interest in real participation with their family members when they come in.
All right, Kevin, Linda, thank you so much. Very important information year-round and
Appreciate it.
this time of year. And if you would like to read more about Delmar Manor Assisted Living, go to our website, delmarlife.com.